Hello YouTube! I thought I would share some thoughts before tackling my day and doing some travel. Let's include this edition in my Get Real series. Here, my potential to irritate another is magnified. Here, I do not self-censor. You are encouraged to express your dissent as long as you keep in mind, I am not here to provide you with excessive indulgence and shield you from ideas and comments you may not like. Feel free to exercise your will. It is as easy as clicking a mouse. This edition will be unedited and not scripted. Some seem to erroneously think we would not have stop and frisk if certain groups was not committing as much crime as they supposedly do. This is an assumption that this action, stop and frisk, is a reasonable solution, a solution to a perceived problem of certain minority factors getting out of line. However, how can these lost souls put so much confidence in this supposed reality and claim this is so, but cannot reference any evidence that definitively proves stop and frisk is effective? Yet, in addition, they can ignore all the data that is contrary to their position. Why is this so? Why? Well, because these folks always go for the easy method of depriving you of actuality by roads of deceit. This allows them to ignore the opposing position. Areas like New York are not special. Now, friends of mine in the Apple, don't throw stones at me just yet. Listen. Violent criminals are widespread nationwide. No matter how much you may like to play in disproportionate land, this unconstitutional measure, which many knew even before the current ruling, is not in our best interest. And I am making reference to all of America. It appears in part a way of keeping police from having idle hands. It is an action that I reason psychologically prepares one for repressive control by one dressed in uniform, be it the police or military. What would happen if we did something radical, like reduce military funding, take that money and redistribute it to better education options, skilled labor education, and manufacturing job creation? Are we not tired of the short-term tourniquet that is doing little to stop the blood flow of crime? How about doing something crazy and seeking better long-term solutions? Outside of some people being wired wrong, entitlement delusions, and laziness, are we forgetting that there is a sizable portion of the gang culture that exists due to limited economic opportunities and poverty? If we decrease poverty, isn't it probable that we are going to have a positive effect on crime? Also, we have a direct part to play. We don't get off the hook that easy. We have to be responsible in our own communities. We need to build systems outside of the police. Remember, generally speaking, excluding a few jurisdictions, state laws, and court decisions have held that officers do not have to lift a finger to help you when you are in danger. Common sense should dictate. Yes, that awful phrase, common sense. Well, it should dictate that we need to treat our fellow man with a certain level of courteous regard until they have proven they are unworthy of such. Some of the men and women who were harassed via this procedure fought for this country. Some were productive citizens, and many were not found to be at fault. Yet, people want to reduce this time-consuming, often humiliating action which has been known to turn unnecessarily brutal as something which equates to a mere inconvenience. When we bow to this gross abuse of our liberties, we are silently stating we submit. This is not the way. We cannot afford to simplistically determine we can rightfully judge people on the way they look or dress. This is all many officers, if they are being honest, have to go on, and this is far from being a probable cause. What is occurring now is grace. We are getting an opportunity to possibly close the Pandora's box, which should have never been opened. If we do not close this box, if we do not make our voices heard, we are selecting to be dispossessed of rights, one by one till the very end, till that fateful day when the hired help can openly say, "Your constitutional rights have been suspended, suspended, suspended." This would translate into a big fuck you. Proceed beyond this point, and you are subjecting yourself to the whims of those marked by the appetite to control you, because your public figures thinks that you and I are only fit to be treated like cattle in the name of the greater good. Don't get lazy, folks. This is so far from over. I just had to take a moment and gloat. But this is so far from over. You better believe New York will fight this. They have too much invested. I hope I am incorrect, but they do have too much invested in this. What I reason the higher-ups want to do is control both the conflict and the resolution of differences. This allows everyone involved to be conducted into a new cycle of conflicts. The American public might want to weigh actuality and the consideration shared against the inhumane treatment that so many have been subjected to and still are being forced to deal with. Thank you for your time.